Hello, friends, and welcome to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Today we find ourselves on Dargonus, the capital planet of the Von Valancius dynasty. And we have spoken to the governor, we've spoken to the chancellor, we've spoken to the spy, and we've gotten some good information, and we are ready to do a bit of exploring and find out what else we need to do on this planet. Because as of yet, we have not been pointed in any particular direction. So I'm not entirely sure where to go from here, to be honest. So we will check into that and see what we can run across today. But before we do any of that, we have leveled up. So we need to get into our characters and get all of them leveled. This is Disabled. My name is Ed, and let's get into it. Okay, let's start with good old Gladius here. Moving through Executioner at a rapid pace. We are now at, what did we get last time? Biophysical distortion. We want agility, of course, as often as we can get it. And we want Psyker Majoris, which we have received with other characters, so this is not anything new, but essentially each level of psi rating provides the psyker access to new psychic powers. It also strengthens damaging psychic powers, so makes us stronger and stronger with our psychic abilities. Psyker abilities, I guess I should say. Okay. Next is Argenta, and we last went with demolition. This time we want agility, and we want overpower. When firing heavy weapons, critical hit chance is increased by 6%, and critical damage is increased by 18%. I like that. Keep running that heavy weapon situation. Next is Cassia, and we went with Lore Warp and Unnatural Allure last time. This time we'll go with Perception, Veil of Protection. Allies targeted by the Navigator's power gain plus 10% armor. This additional armor is reduced by the amount of veil degradation and increased by the infusing parameter of the currently equipped Navigator's staff. I think we want that. That's the one we're after. Okay. And that brings us to Pascal. We went with Flay the Bold. We are now for Intelligence and Safety Training. This character only suffers 25% of the damage dealt by plasma explosion. The damage bonus from each stack of plasma cell overheat is increased by 5%. Interesting. Plasma explosion. Each creature in a 1-cell radius around the wielder suffers energy damage equal to the plasma weapon damage, using that weapon's armor penetration. The wielder suffers 2 times the damage with 2 times the armor penetration. When the explosion occurs, all stacks of plasma cell overheating are removed from the wielder. Oh, well, we haven't come across that yet as a problem. But cool. Maybe we won't have that problem. That brings us to Heinrichs. Last time we went with Rite of Calibration. This time we will go with Toughness and Psyker Terminus. Each level of Psi rating provides the Psyker access to new powers and strengthens damaging psychic powers. So we are now getting even stronger with Heinrichs. Taking us to Jae. Last time we went with Priority Signal. This time we will go with Safe Shelter. If the Overseer or their allies are protected by partial cover in a 4-cell radius around the Servo Skull Swarm, they are considered protected by full cover. And then we'll take Fellowship and Base Skill Logic. The character gains +7 Logic. The character may improve this skill even if their archetype or origin does not allow it. Nice. Raising our logic is good. How are we doing on tech use? 97. Curious. He's not as good as Pascal's tech use. Better logic than Pascal. Tech use is a bit lower, but not horribly so. We might be able to swap out Pascal for Jae. I will not complain if that can happen. Next, we are not doing Cabela, so Irliet, of course. Last time we went with Lethality Heightens. This time we will take Agility and Path of the Outcast. When Irliet kills a target with a single shot attack from Eldari weapon from the first time in a round, she immediately gains an additional attack. I like that. Alright, all leveled, guys. Wonderful, wonderful. And we have 2 doors. I don't know which of them goes to where, so let's look at our map here. I am in here. Let's go to the side door, see where that goes. I don't know. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, my bedroom. Of course, a bedroom for me. Because I must sleep at night. The bed for the head of a rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner. It is quite large. Okay. Let's head back out. Long live the rogue trader. Yes, yes. So I've heard. Well, I guess there's loot down here. Let's go find it, shall we? There it is. Wonderful. I guess we'll head back to the ship. Let me check the journal here. Reclaim what was lost. We need to go to Kiava Gamma. Definitely. We are done with the prologue. We're done with chapter 1. We are in chapter 2. Reclaim what was lost. Ablution in blood. Yeah, we need to talk to the choir master about that. Blades in the void. Forge a path to Vebos 6. According to Achilles Scalander, the Xenos raids may have struck the penal world of Vebos 6. This report requires further investigation. Okay, so we need to go to Blades in the Void. We need to go to Kiava Gamma. I think we will try to find Vebos 6 first. Achilles told us about it, and the governor told us about it. So we believe that he may have just been looking out for the interests of his house, though he assures us that is not the case, of course. That is just crazy talk. Let's see if anything pops along the way. What is Mundus Valancius? Let's check that out. Terrible news from Doggonus, Lord Captain. A subsidiary Hive City, a Scipion 84249, has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production is halted and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees? What is the cause of the catastrophe? It's still unclear. The noble houses are casting blame upon one another. Agents of the esteemed Achilles Scalander, stationed in Scipione 84249, died heroically while trying to save the population from this disaster. Their final reports mention some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive, but did not go into further detail. All your servants are currently too busy dealing with the consequences of the crisis to investigate its causes. What say my advisors? The death of Achilles' agents troubles me. It may not be a coincidence. Until the causes of the disaster can be concretely established, I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons where the refugees can be contained in the wastelands between the hives. The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, then let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I'm sure the ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive out in the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness. This tragedy, a feat of spirit. Really, Argenta? Seriously? You are a bag of insanity. Okay. The noble houses are trying to wash their hands of this. How predictable. And yet it is their duty to see to it that the planet meets its tithe obligation and brings glory and revenue to the treasury in your absence. Let the aristocrats see to the refugees and do not stop until every last one of them has been put to work. Abelard, remind the noble houses of their duties. Lady Clementia will ensure that your declarations find their way into every ear and are zealously embraced. The hives that have accepted the refugees are now overflowing with surplus labor. The refugees are willing to work twice as hard as the usual workers, who are already exhausted by their everyday toils. Many refugees have entered the rogue trader's service and replenished his ship's crew. Dargonus nobles took no pleasure in distributing the refugees. Some of them have found their way into the personal service of the nobles, thankful to receive a Nutribar and a mat to rest on for 4 hours between shifts. Others could only attain the most grueling jobs at the manufactorums and service stations. They may be oppressed, but they have survived, a diaspora scattered across the hives of Dargonus. Very nice. Okay. I think this is similar to what we saw on Janus that we did not make a choice about, maybe? There are projects here? Throne room, the palace, the projects. Yeah, projects. Okay. We have restoration. A new hive city will be established on top of the ruins of Scipione. Extasiums for the nobility. Palace extasiums will be constructed upon the ruins for the aristocracy. The dead and the dying will fertilize the gardens that will ring these pleasure chambers. Wow, that is hideous. I really, really hate this reality. Emporium. The surviving spine of Scipione 84249 will be rebuilt into a space elevator. It will be capped by an emporium, accepting those ships that are too heavy to land on the surface. Now that seems very valuable. This would give me a profit factor of 2 and give me more people. I do like. This would increase profit factor, increase complacency, affects the amount of profit factor produced by the colony, and the speed of projects in the colony, increasing and decreasing them by 10% for each point of complacency, respectively. Okay. And it would increase efficiency. affects the amount of resources produced by the colony, increasing it by 10% for each point of efficiency. Emporium increases efficiency, profit factor +3. I get ship components, jewelry, plasteel, mechanisms, and adamantine. Yep, I think that's where we're going. Beautiful. And we don't have any rank 2 items yet, so we'll back out of there. Yep, we're locked out of everything else for the moment. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's bounce out of here and see what's what. I have to say, I am very surprised. Eldari Survivors. There's Vebo 6 right there. Let's pop back down here. From here, we can go up to Narmer 4. We're going to have to burn difficulty because we need Narmer 4 to open up these areas, and that's where we need to go next. So we'll make it safe. Travel. We can chart new routes, which will give us a +1 to go to 6. Not a fan. We'll visit. Oh, we got pirates here. I'm not going to mess with those. Finding very, very quickly that I am not capable of dealing with anything out here until we get some better equipment. Scan it up. We got phlogiston. We will set up an extractium for that. The ship's augurs have detected a non-native mineral cluster on the planet's surface, probably the remains of an ancient asteroid shower. The substance is valuable, but collecting it will not be easy. The asteroid sits right above numerous underground caverns. The ancient tunnels and vaults are incredibly unstable and would likely not bear the weight of a large group of humans, let alone a shuttle. My athletics is not quite high enough for this to be a good idea. If I say don't risk it now, do I have the chance to come back later and try? We'll say don't risk it. And it's not letting me back in there currently, so I think we might have just screwed our chance, but we'll see. Scan it up. Doesn't look like a dead world. Looks like Hawaii. Provisions not explored. Accept. 6. Very nice. Archaeotech mechanism fragment. Surviving piece of an archaeotech mechanism of unknown purpose discovered among the wreckage of an ancient imperial vessel on one of the planets in Narmer 6. Have we found one of those already before? Maybe? I guess not. I thought that we had, but I guess not. Cool. Done and done. I'm assuming I can't get in there without fighting the pirates. Maybe. We'll try. V. Flipping C. So, yep, that will take us into combat that we do not want. So we will bounce out of here. We're done. And we will look around. That requires a 2. That requires a 1. That's what we want. Very nice. We'll chart new routes and get that 1 back. And we have forged a path to Vebo 6. Let's explore around and then go to Vebo, shall we? Lord Cotton, we cross-reference the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet Vebo 6 is located here. The problem is, the ogres detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. Thank you, helmsman. It's impossible to land safely on the planet just right at this moment. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easily. Xenos, the armory and artillery crews are standing by. Alright. We have to fight some Xenos, apparently, because they're going to make us fight space battles when we have completely unprepared to do so. Hopefully we have a better shot at these. Dead world. Looks like Jupiter. Feral world. Abandoned Tech Priest base. We'll take it. It's impressive to me that no worlds are considered too hostile to get into. It's really, really strange. A peculiar settlement. This planet can barely sustain life, and yet, searches discovered a long-lost Imperial colony, one that was cut off from the rest of the galaxy centuries ago. Colonists live in conditions worse than any underhive, yet they still venerate the Emperor and gladly welcome their visitors. The Lord Captain receives an invitation from the local ruler, the Archqueen Princeps Domina. Pay the Archqueen an official visit. The ruler meets the Lord Captain in a shack, considered to be a palace by the people here. The Archqueen's unusual crown is made out of metal coils, most likely parts of an ancient device for boiling water. The guests are served the finest delicacies the colony can provide. The Archqueen praises the visitors in mangled Low Gothic and calls the Lord Captain her dear brother. At the end of the audience, gifts are presented to the guests. The Archqueen's minister delicately remarks that the best possible gift the Lord Captain and his crew could provide would be the replenishment of the colony's meager gene pool. The Lord Captain gives orders to canvass the lower decks for volunteers. The most ruggedly handsome among them will be sent to the Archqueen's court, along with the other gifts. Cool. The Archqueen is delighted and flattered. She hopes the Lord Captain will pay her more visits in the future. Yup. Is that available again? No, not yet. Maybe in future? I don't know. Scan it up. And we got some stuff from a thing. Excellent. Okay, we are going to go check out these Drukhari Void ships. Hopefully we can have a little combat that works out in our favor. Or at least we have a chance of surviving. It's only 2 ships, looks like. But they are... None of that looks great. I don't know what this is. Explosive Void Nebula. This cloud of explosive gas enhances the capabilities of microcannons, but increases incoming damage. Whenever a vessel inside this anomalous zone makes an attack, it suffers damage. Microcannon range plus 5, cells, cannon damage plus 20%, incoming damage plus 25%, and any damage that you take is from 2 to 6 just by existing in it. Okay. If I go here, what can I do? Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing this round. So getting up there would just invite them to have a free shot at me. I don't want to deal with this currently because I'm not familiar enough with it. Let me go here, drop off some missiles. And then finish out this direction.
All hands, prepare for acceleration.
And what is that? Interesting. Enter.
I know this tremor. Our
Oh.
shields are weakening.
Cow.
Darkness are ravening.
Wow. All right. This is not going to work for us. So let's bounce out. We have. Where is that other planet that we need to go to? Holy cow. Hey, we found the edges of the galaxy. That's good to know. What do we have here? Aldari survivors. Kiava Gamma. Okay. So how do I get out that way? And try to get out that direction, I guess? I don't know. First thing I need to do, though, is leave where I am, because it's not helping me. Lord Captain, urgent report. We have received an astropathic message from Regent Aranto Orselio. The navigators are concerned about the fate of Cassia, who disappeared from Urac 5. The Regent is requesting an update on her current status and has also inquired about the possibility of a personal meeting to negotiate and arrange the return of the Lady Navigator to her house. The psycho-emotional coding of the received message betrays acute concern, but it also contains something that the astropaths have failed to put into words. If you'll excuse my forthrightness, I feel it is necessary to tell House Orselio the truth. Otherwise, a conflict with the novice nobilite is possible, which, given the current state of the Coronis expanse, will only play into the hands of the enemies of the Imperium. How did House Orselio even learn I have Cassia? I wish I knew, Lord Captain. It is troubling indeed. Perhaps we have a spy on board, or Regent Aranto is bluffing. In either case, I believe we should respond. Navigators are extremely powerful and useful allies to have. Tell House Orselio that Cassia is safe and that the rogue trader would be honored to meet in person. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The Astropass will transmit your consent. Representatives of House Orselio will be waiting for you on the capital world Dargonis. Receiving members of the Novus Nobilite is always a delicate matter. Please make sure to discuss the details of this meeting with your Chancellor upon arrival. Okay, thanks for that. Let's pop back to the bridge, see if the naval commander is ready to accept some more stuff from us and possibly have some more upgrades from us. I am getting very frustrated with the space combat, and it is very possible it is my fault and that I just don't understand what I'm doing well enough, but I don't think that's it. We got some new stuff. Definitely want to check that out. Okay, we don't need to do that. We can upgrade our hull. We can upgrade our RAM, which we never use, but you know, it's upgradable. So hey, yay, I guess. Glimmer Pattern Void Shield Array Prototype provides 70 points of protection for each sector. This amount is doubled against enemy blast attacks. The single void shield array provides 80 points of protection for each sector. I went with the other because of the blast attack additional protection, so we will hang on to that for now. Mars Pattern Prow Battery. Short-range prow-mounted macro cannons, which fire 4 shots, dealing 14 damage per shot. Long-range lance weapon, dealing from 45 to 55 damage to a chosen enemy within a narrow firing arc. So I get more space, up to 56 damage, with the Mars Prow battery. So let's go with that. Okay. Voss pattern torpedo tubes we already have. Military plasteel void ship plating. Ceramite plating protects the vessel from harm, negating 5 points of damage on each side, so I upgraded. We have plasteel plating, which protects from harm, negating 4 points of damage. What I have is better. Mazoa Lance Weapon 2. Oh yeah, I don't want that. Fortis Pattern Torpedo Tubes. Torpedo tubes capable of firing 4 short-burning plasma torpedoes with 19 damage warheads. What does short-burning mean? That's different than what I had. I don't know. Repulsor shield. Higher shield. We'll swap that out. And we'll get some different torpedoes, I guess. No component available. Definitely upgrade hull integrity. Upgrade the ram. We have a few more hit points now, which is better. We haven't gotten to rank 2 yet. We need to win some more fights, apparently. Supreme Commander. It's Cassia. She is still the best, though Jae is a nice second up there. Master Cannoneer. Argenta would be better. Okay. Shield Master. Still definitely Pascal. Master of Maneuvers. Heinrichs is an upgrade. Warp Channeler. Adira's right where she needs to be. Master of Etherics is going to be Irliet. I don't know what this is. The flagship's auger scan an enemy ship to highlight its weak points. All damage dealt to a weak point is increased by 30%. Only one weak point can be highlighted at a time. We can do a vulnerability scan. What the hell, man? Okay. Has that been possible the whole time? I don't know. Okay. None of that seems particularly useful. Let's go back. We'll try this combat one more time with our new stuff, see if that makes any difference at all. Okay, we need to find our way to Krennic. So let's start heading that way fast as we can. That is safe, which I do like. Alright. Moving on through. I don't know if we've been to Forgotten Twins yet. We have. I'm not going back. What is this one? We've been there. This is the one we need to go to access this group. Okay, we have this one. Unsafe from here. That is a safe trip, though. We do need to go in here and make that choice on the governor's on Janus. If I can figure out how to access that screen. Anyway, oh, perfect. Projects. That's security, provisions, chemicals. Reputation, I love. Profit factor, I love. Right now, that's the better option, I think. We'll go with Ultraquisitors. Okay. Perfect. All right. We have been here. It is not currently saved. We can go down here to Footfall and then travel from Footfall to... No. There's no way to get... This is an uncharted system. Oh, this is how we get over here. Okay. Both of these are uncharted systems. That's a 3. Don't want that one. Ooh, that's a 3. Okay, don't want that either. We want to go here. We'll reduce route difficulty. I think. No, we can go down here and get up to that one. Yes, okay. We can get there safely. From here, we can go here. We can go there. Make it safe. See if we can lose one to get one. Yes, 1 to 1, I like it. Very good, +1. We'll go 1 to 1 here. First, we'll pop in here and see what we can find. Space dust. That's more stuff for the Navy. I like that. Scan it up. Not explored. The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detected the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome system failed, and left behind is this city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. I don't know if I only get one option here like I have had on other ones, so we'll start with draining the fuel. Drain the remaining fuel from the generator stations. The city won't need them anymore. There you go. It takes several trips to deliver the massive Promethium storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out the colony was running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals would still have perished due to lack of energy. Send out a crew to explore the city's temple district. The temple district is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor's statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome. Supported by chains of gold, it can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. Interesting. Order the scouts to gather as many supplies as possible. Nice. Oh, just weaponry. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filled building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There were plenty of useful things among their findings, including foodstuffs and weapons. Explore the local palace. A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in a secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. Ghost Sword. One-handed melee weapon. Plus 10% parry, minus 10 to enemy weapon skill when hit. 35% armor penetration. Interesting. Okay. Well, that was cool. Scan it up. More plasteel. We will let that languish for the moment. We'll pick up more as needed in future. We have 28 coming in at the moment, though. Scan it up. I don't see any reason to get more. Magnetic Storm. The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of augur arrays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet. The rogue trader has decided to leave this unwelcoming world. Maybe he will return here one day when we have better equipment. No doubt. We've seen all the worlds. World. Let's head up to System Speculo. Chart new routes. Get our point back. And it leads us into what? Nothing. I thought it. I guess this to here now? I don't remember Orselio Prophecy being available before, but okay, I guess that's what's happening. Let's go ahead and pop in and see what we got going on. Oh, unknown ships, yay! Begin scan. Xenotech, yes, we need that. Augur's Anomaly. Oh, heyo, we have something to do. Something that involves our team. Let's drop Pascal and put in Jae. I am excited for that. Lord Captain. The servitor looks past you, not noticing your presence. Well, very good. I wasn't noticing its presence either. Okay, well this is an interesting looking world.
Behind the varied colors of your soul, I see very different shades. Less gold and silver, and more and more...
Cass, joy of my eyes, I'm not ashamed to show off my body to others, but do not bare my soul for me.
Right? Inside the containers are the remnants of stones and frescoes depicting a black spot, surrounded by structures of some sort. Okay.
I always keep my options open.
Oh, 200
hard for a simple monkey.
The barely noticeable words in shaky handwriting read, "Touch the darkness, and the darkness will accept you." Cool, cool. That sounds totally normal. The darkness swirls beneath your feet, a void of impenetrable gloom. You do not hear a single sound from the depths of the pit. No wailing wind, no rustle of dust. Examine the pit. The bright daylight cannot pierce the darkness lying over the slopes. The longer you look into its depth, the stronger the feeling grows that this darkness isn't just an absence of light. It is something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the furthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. Through sheer force of will, you avert your gaze. Heinrich peers into the darkness in the depths of the pit. You feel the touch of another worldly chill. The interrogator arches an eyebrow. Whatever this, phenomenon may be, there is no warp sorcery within it. Lean over and stretch your hand into the darkness. At the edge of your consciousness, you sense something slimy and intangible answering your invitation for contact. It seeps into your thoughts, tasting your emotions. Surprise and curiosity envelop you, but these feelings are not your own. Try to dominate the entity. Oh wow, that was cool. You feel your way to the barely tangible edges of the entity's consciousness, separate it from yourself, and squeeze it until it is reduced to the size of a bead. The entity trembles, trying to break free of your mental grasp. Surprise, rage, elation, and fear replace one another. After a while, the entity stabilizes, but the moment you loosen your grip, it escapes, leaving behind a piece of itself inside your mind. Okay, well that's creepy.
I always have a backup plan.
Watch your steps.
Staff of Mind Sight. The wielder of this staff gains the Vision of Death ability. This ability is also available in Heroic and Desperate Measure versions. Interesting. Target must pass a willpower resistance test or suffer mental damage equal to Psyker ability plus 30% of current wounds. The latter part of the damage cannot exceed 300. If passed, that target instead suffers Psyker staff power level mental damage. Wow. That's interesting.
Rusty bridges over dusty trenches. How frightfully fascinating. Truly, the mind boggles. Remind me again why we've come all this way.
Well, good question. No solid answers. Numerous ropes and cables end abruptly at the very edge of the pit, vanishing into the gathering darkness.
One and it's done.
Thank you, Jae. These ancient cogitators are long dead. Despite this, the covers of the machines are still intact. It seems unlikely that the inner parts were ruined by the elements, so they could still prove useful. Well, thank you for that then.
None are better at searching.
Okay. What about finding?
Is there money to be made?
Maybe. Another rusty cogitator. We got goods here.
And done.
Okay. Can't go that way any further.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
I have failed my kin.
Oh, her test succeeded. Then why is she... The surface bears the marks of determined and protracted effort. Someone made dozens of scratches which chaotically intersect at different angles without any order or logic. Okay, that's not true. Rudimentary tools and devices are now covered in a layer of dirt and local flora. Okay. I think that we are done here.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Looks like we have a data slate to pick up. It has been several months since we arrived here, and yet we are no closer to understanding the local phenomenon. All that we were able to learn quite literally lies on the surface. The object does not reflect sound or light. On the contrary, it very much absorbs them. After extensive excavation, we did ascertain, at least, that the object is vast and goes deep below the planet's surface. However, any attempts to measure it resulted in loss of machinery or staff. Archaeological studies have turned out to be more productive. Their findings have revealed an amalgamation of architectural styles of various cultures, including those of Xenos origin. According to the boldest theories, the earliest of these structures date from the beginning of the 30th millennium, and all of them are, without a doubt, of a religious nature. Analysis of bas-reliefs and remaining epigraphic texts shows that a cult was formed around the object. For many centuries, Xenos and subsequently humans worshipped the object in exchange for certain boons, undoubtedly imagined by primitive or corrupted minds. Okay. So you say. Alright, let's bounce. If there was something else we could have done with the darkness, we have already passed our chance to do it, I think. Yep. It's going to be a hard no from me, dog. Beautiful. Scan it up. And we've got more adamantine. How we doing on adamantine? 6 currently. 3 worlds rolling adamantine. I've only got 1 extractium left. Let's wait and see if we have a better choice. Or where we can get more extractium. Oh, another ocean world here. Xeno Ruins. The Hunter Father's Armor. Aldari equipment. This will be for Irliet. The wearer gains +2 movement points and the Strike of Kernus ability. What? Strike of Kernus. Kernus? The wearer regains all movement points and can make an additional attack. This turn can only be used once per combat. Wow, that's cool. I will collect. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to save. And then we're going to pop in here and dip my toe into the unknown ships. A report shows up on your personal cogitator screen. Unknown ships are towing the Interstellar Sextant, a cargo ship belonging to one of Footfall's wealthiest traders. It looks like the pirates have bitten off more than they can chew, and have now been forced to drag the ship to a more secluded place where they can plunder it undisturbed. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Let's attack the pirates. As soon as they see you, the escort ships charge into battle, while the captive sextant powers up its warp engines. Unless you interrupt the preparation for the jump, the cargo ship will forever vanish beyond the veil of the Immaterium, along with all the riches it is carrying. Send all available forces to intercept the interstellar sextant. Okay, we're not going to deal with this yet. We are just not equipped at this point to do what we need to do. I'm hoping Kiava Gamma, being an industrial world, will get us better gear. That would be great. That would just be great. Whoops. When the Lord Captain arrived on the bridge during the warp jump, he found the on-duty officers in a state of utter confusion. They claimed they had been receiving orders from the bridge for several minutes, orders authorized by the rogue trader, but the Lord Captain had been absent. Curiously, the orders had been signed by the late Theodora von Valancius. After a thorough investigation, the tech priest attributed the strange incident to the whims of the machine spirits. The ship left the hostile Immaterium and returned to real space. Hey, good there. What do you know? Alright, we have this new place to go. We're going to have to trim 2 to make it safe, which sucks. We can chart new routes, get 1 back. Very nice. And we are getting closer to where we want to go, but still don't have a path there. Let's visit. Space dust. We can pick some stuff up here. More fuel. I like that. Begin scan. Flood victims. It appears that a large void ship recently dumped a huge load of junk and faulty parts from orbit. The debris that did not burn up in the atmosphere is now blocking the flow of a mighty river. This dam is causing the river to overflow, flooding the nearby valley. A herd of large hoofed rodents has gathered along the riverbanks. If the animals lose their usual habitat, they are doomed. The Lord Captain orders the removal of the space debris from the riverbed. It's a long and laborious process, but the animals will have a chance to survive. It takes many planetary turns and hundreds of crew members to remove the heap of trash and unclog the river, letting the waters flow freely once more. The rodents run back to their pastures without so much as a backward glance at the people who saved them. Well, of course, that is how rodents work. Pirates! No! How about no? And nothing? We are done here. With a path here, we'll get a 1-to-1. Chart new routes. Beautiful. And visit. Enemies of humanity. Holy cow, they're everywhere. I swear to goodness. I swear to cheese. Scan it up. Dead world. Scan it up. Looks like the moon. With phlogiston. We have phlogiston already coming in. How much phlogiston do we have? 15. Yeah, we're not doing that. Nice of you though. Nice of you. Scan it up. Dead world. Hey, that looks like a water planet. We have Promethium. Oh, that's a good one, actually. And we do not have any. We will waste our last Extractium on that Promethium right there. Will do. Sweet. Hey, another water planet. It's everywhere. And it's a dead planet? Really? Feudal world. That's feudal, not futile, although since there's nothing there to collect, it could work both ways, I think. Okay. We already charted from here. 1 to 1. Chart again. Lovely. Visit. Oh, hello. We've got something interesting here. Not just planets. And that is not a white dwarf. That is a white giant. Scan it up, Moon World. And plasteel, which we didn't want anyway. Inquisition Shipwreck. Oh, hey-ho. Okay, well, no, not right now. Back out. We are too close to Tom to do that. Let's wander around and check these others. The augurs have detected the remnants of an ancient mining ship that crashed on the planet. It looked like it was carrying equipment and settlers to a new mining site. Searching the ship might prove useful, but it carries certain risks. 50-50? Go for it. The ancient ship was extremely unstable. The search team had barely entered before the first collapse occurred, immediately claiming hundreds of lives. Despite suffering losses, the team managed to find and bring back the lone surviving Extractium. Yas! I thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, we looked at that one. Scan it up. Nothing. And we have a rim station here. What is what? We welcome your lordship to Harryock's Rim, our humble trading station. I am Steward Pontius Lockton, here to offer our high-born guest only the finest wares and special ship modules. Oh! Yes. The helmsman's snort is heard over the internal Vox channel. A trading station! Pull the other one. Everyone in the Expanse knows that this is a pirate den where they peddle the stolen plunder. But to be fair, they never touch the customers, which is probably why they're still alive. I wish to upgrade the vessel's weapons. Perhaps you might be interested in macro cannons. Solid, robust, and in very, very good condition. You will crush any enemy with their power at your side. You have a deal. May the new cannons bring you many glorious victories. I require a more powerful engine. Take a look at this model. It will be a worthy acquisition for your flagship. The spirit of this machine is obstinate but fast. Deal. Pleasure doing business with you. What rumors have been flying around lately? Same old. Rampaging pirates, nefarious smugglers, Xenos preying on lone ships. The valiant Imperial Navy alone fights them all, and we thank the God Emperor that we can enjoy his protection. Do you, though? There is a rumor about a lone Adeptus Mechanicus ship, an ancient hulk that is reported to appear in one system or the other, only to vanish the next day. Who knows why it broke away from the Explorator fleet, or what secrets it may hold, but this is just a tall tale, unworthy of your lordship's ears. Which is why you chose to tell me. Okay, well, let's bounce out of here. We got some new pieces. We lost profit factor in the getting of them, but Lord of mercy, I hope they're an upgrade because we need it. This plasma drive provides 12 speed along with strong acceleration and low braking. In addition, it grants +3 additional void movement points when ramming. I like it. That is an upgrade. What else did we get? Prometheum Mortar. Over our dorsal cannons there. They fire 2 shots, 14 damage each. This is 3 shots, 14 damage each. Whenever it hits an enemy ship's hull, it has a 50% chance to start internal fires. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I do like that. Okay. Let's go see if we can buy anything now. We got some fuel earlier. Let's see what we have going on here. We have a profit factor of 37 now, so once we get in here, we can get all of this, except for, well, there's 2 items here we won't be able to get. An auger array. That is not as good as the engine we have. Plasma battery. That's definitely better than what we're carrying. I need that. Need it. Well, we can get 800. Get us a good ways around. We're 1,100 short. Okay. Now that we have a higher profit factor, nothing we can buy here. Nothing here. Oh, we can get something here though. Precise las gun, we don't need. And some crack grenades. That claymore, he loves two-handed melee weapons, which none of my people use. So, okie dokie. Back to the map. And we are done here, I think. We've done everything here. Except for landing on this planet, I think. There was a thing here, if I'm not mistaken. Excellent. Alright, friends, we have a Inquisition shipwreck to go check out. We are on our way to the industrial planet. Hopefully, we can get more ship upgrades along the path because we are in desperate need of more powerful weapons. At the moment, we are getting our butts kicked every time we attempt to engage in a space combat. So, plenty of things that we still need to do, but I think we will need to do those things next time. This has been Disabled. My name is Ed, and this has been the enigmatic Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as that helps me out tremendously. But truly, until we meet each other again, make your way with love and light. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today, and goodbye.